My colleague Annika Larson is for us tonight. Annika, good evening. You've got more reaction for us to the story.
Yes, that's right. The rand has rallied and the markets accepted the new finance minister favourably. It seems to have been a very calming, good choice by the president. But he's also sent out a very strong message, I think, here, and that is there will be no tolerance for malfeasance, which brings me into a discussion with Head of the Presidency in the ANC, Zizi Kodwa. It's lovely to see you here in Parliament, all the way from Luthuli House. Your response, please, to the new Finance Minister.
The African National Congress will tomorrow make a full statement through the Deputy Secretary General. But preliminary, I think it's important to welcome the swift and decisive action by the President. At the same time, we want to also to thank, to echo the same words of the President, to thank Nene, that for owning up, former Minister of Finance, to owning up to his era of judgment. There are very few in the world who can own up to the era of their judgment and take the decisions he took. But at the same time, we think also to stabilize the portfolio, the President has his choice of Tito Mboweni, very seasoned cadre, a member of the National Executive Committee. He's been around. He's been part of the Finance Committee, the ETC of the ANC. And I think you will hit the ground running, implementing the stimulus package, but also to implement the recovery economic plan.
President Ramaphosa has emphasized good governance as part of his administration. What does this mean for other members of cabinet who may have those little skeletons lurking around?
We can only talk about the decision that was announced today by the President. Unfortunately, we can't read his mind about other things. And I think let's welcome that decision. Let's celebrate it for what it is. And I think we have now a new Minister of Finance who will hit the ground running. We have a work to do with the African National Congress, is to create jobs, to create jobs, to create jobs. So whatever we do, that's why we say we need to ignite the economy first, because if we can't talk about job creation and yet we can't even grow the economy. This seasoned minister, among others, the immediate task given by the President is attending a full cabinet meeting tomorrow to implement exactly the stimulus package, recovery plan, so that we meet those three objectives: jobs, jobs, jobs.
Has this been a very stressful time for the President?
No, the President, you can see, is jovial. And I think the fact that he took the decision, he announced it today, it also reflects the kind of a character of the President we have of the Republic, that sometimes decisive actions need to be taken immediately. And I think that is the kind of the leadership you will appreciate coming out of a collective leadership that comes out of Nazareth, that we committed ourselves. Our desire, it can be in statements or just in public orations. When there is something that needs action, we need decisive leadership action, and that was demonstrated here today.
Zizi Kodwa, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you. And just before we bring in the Shadow Minister of Finance from the DA, David Mania, just to have a look at Tito Mboweni's illustrious career, first as a Labour Minister, then as the first democratically appointed Reserve Bank head until 2009, built foreign exchange reserves to almost $40 billion from less than 10 billion, and of course most well known for introducing inflation targeting. Your reaction, David, from the DA, David Mania, Shadow Minister of Finance, to Tito Mboweni's appointment, please.
Well, we'd obviously like to congratulate Tito Mboweni, who's essentially been plucked out of political obscurity and appointed as the new Minister of Finance in South Africa. We feel that with his experience, he will be able to hit the ground running, and at least he is known to market participants, to rating agencies, and to international financial institutions who, of course, very closely monitor events in South Africa.
Do you think this sets a precedent for other members of Cabinet who have perhaps some clouds hanging over their heads?
I think it does set a precedent, but it's very unlikely that ministers like Malusi Gigaba or Batabile Dlamini would offer their resignations, or would do the honourable thing and offer their resignations to the President.
Thank you very much, David Mania, for joining us from the DA. And we spoke to the Deputy Minister of Finance, Nhlanhla Nene, who said that he was delighted with the appointment. He said the mini-budget on the 24th of October is pretty much finalised. It still needs to be presented to Cabinet, but the team at Treasury, there'll be no immediate changes. That team will stay in place, and they seem to be quite happy with Tito Mboweni as their new captain, and that budget should go ahead smoothly and without any major changes.
All right, Annika, thanks for that. One wonders where exactly Nhlanhla Nene is tonight, as, of course, the whole country is talking about his resignation and subsequent replacement